Can you believe it? One of the most beautiful friendships in Real Madrid history started with a chokehold right on the pitch. From enemies to brothers, from conflict to legend, this is the unbelievable story of Marcelo and Cristiano Ronaldo. November 2008, Brasilia, Brazil. A friendly match between Brazil and Portugal should have been just another exhibition game. But for a 19-year-old Marcelo and global superstar Cristiano Ronaldo, it turned into the spark of an unforgettable story. Marcelo had only recently joined Real Madrid, young, skinny, and still trying to prove himself. He was far from the confident leader he would one day become. Across the field stood Cristiano Ronaldo, Manchester United's crown jewel. Already one of the most famous athletes on the planet, the matchup felt uneven from the start. A rising kid against an established icon. Late in the game, with Brazil already cruising toward victory, Ronaldo's frustration boiled over. Marcelo stopped one of his trademark runs with a hard challenge. Furious, Cristiano snapped. He grabbed Marcelo by the neck, shoving him in anger. Marcelo kicked back instinctively, but he was too small to break free. Within seconds, teammates rushed in. The referee blew his whistle, and the clash ended as quickly as it had begun. For the fans in the stands, it was just another heated moment in soccer. For Marcelo, it was something else entirely. He walked off the pitch embarrassed and resentful, thinking, "This guy is arrogant. I'll never like him." At 19, he felt powerless, overshadowed, disrespected, and unsure of his place in the football world. Little did he know, less than a year later, Real Madrid would announce the most expensive transfer in history. Cristiano Ronaldo was coming to Bernabeu. The very man who had grabbed him by the neck would soon sit just a few lockers away. Sometimes, the fiercest rivalries plant the seeds for the deepest bonds. Marcelo didn't see it that night in Brasilia, but the stage had just been set for a brotherhood that would define a golden era of Real Madrid. November 19, 2008, Estadio Bezerrão in Brasilia, Brazil, was alive with music, drums, and the roar of nearly 20,000 fans. The friendly between Brazil and Portugal was never really just a friendly. These two nations share history, language, and pride, and whenever they meet, emotion takes over. That night, Brazil shined. Kaká orchestrated the midfield with elegance. Luis Fabiano scored twice, and the Selecao played with flair that thrilled the home crowd. For Portugal, it was a nightmare. Cristiano Ronaldo, their captain and superstar at Manchester United, cut a frustrated figure. The scoreboard read 6-2. For someone accustomed to winning at Old Trafford, this humiliation stung. And then came the moment. Late in the second half, Ronaldo burst down the left wing with his signature stepovers. Marcelo, just 19 years old, was waiting. Still a rookie at Real Madrid, Marcelo had speed and energy, but lacked experience. He lunged in aggressively, clipping Ronaldo's legs to stop the run. Ronaldo fell hard, bounced up instantly, and fury took over. In front of the roaring Brazilian crowd, Cristiano grabbed Marcelo by the neck with one hand and shoved him backward. Marcelo, shocked but unwilling to back down, swung a kick at him. For a few seconds, the two glared at each other, chests out, adrenaline pumping. The tension was electric. Brazil's young defender squaring off against one of the world's most famous athletes. Teammates rushed in, the referee whistled, and the clash fizzled out before it escalated further. To the outside world, it looked like just another heated exchange, common in soccer. The match continued. Brazil cruised to victory, and most fans quickly forgot. But Marcelo did not forget. Walking off the pitch, Marcelo replayed the incident in his mind. He felt humiliated, disrespected, and small. He later admitted, "He grabbed me by the neck, and I tried to fight back. But he was taller, stronger. I thought, I will never like this guy." For the young defender, that night planted bitterness. The media barely covered it. With the scoreline so lopsided, headlines focused on Brazil's dominance, not on a brief altercation. No viral clips, no scandal, just silence. But in Marcelo's mind, the moment loomed large. It was a classic clash of personalities. Cristiano, fiery, ambitious, obsessed with winning, even in a friendly. Marcelo, raw, spirited, unwilling to be pushed around. Two paths crossing violently, without either knowing how entwined their futures would become. The irony was brutal. Less than a year later, Real Madrid would announce Cristiano Ronaldo as the most expensive signing in history. Marcelo, still haunted by that neck grab, suddenly faced the reality that the man he clashed with would now share his locker room. For Marcelo, the memory of Brasilia wasn't just about a foul. It symbolized imbalance, the young kid overpowered by the global icon. It struck at his pride, his self-worth, and that's why, when the transfer news broke, fear consumed him. Looking back now, fans can smile at the irony. What started as hostility became a brotherhood. But in that moment, in November 2008, all Marcelo felt was resentment. For him, the heated clash wasn't just a scuffle, it was the first unlikely chapter of a story that would reshape both of their careers. 3. The summer of 2009 changed everything. Real Madrid, determined to reclaim its dominance in Europe, launched a spending spree that stunned the football world. The crown jewel of that Galacticos 2.0 project was none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. Signed from Manchester United for a record-breaking $131 million. For fans, it was pure euphoria. For Marcelo, it was panic. He remembered Brasilia just months earlier. He could still feel Ronaldo's hand on his neck, the sting of humiliation, the anger boiling inside him. And now, that same man, his rival, his enemy, was about to become his teammate at the Santiago Bernabeu. But Marcelo's fear wasn't just emotional. It was also tactical. Ronaldo made his career dominating the left wing. Marcelo, still only 21, had begun to grow into his role as Real Madrid's left back. He loved pushing forward, overlapping, contributing to attacks. But if Ronaldo owned the left corridor, where would Marcelo fit? To Marcelo, it felt like a death sentence. Cristiano plays left, I play left. How can we both exist? He thought. He even confessed to friends. Maybe this is the end for me at Real. For an American fan, imagine being a young NBA forward who's finally getting playing time, only to find out your team just signed LeBron James. Or being an NFL wide receiver and realizing Tom Brady brought in his favorite superstar target to play your role. The feeling is the same. Am I about to be benched? As the days ticked down to Ronaldo's arrival, the hype was relentless. Media outlets tracked every move, his flight to Madrid, the medical exam, the unveiling in front of 80,000 fans. Marcelo watched silently. While the world celebrated, he worried that he was watching the beginning of the end of his Madrid story. Yet, hidden in that fear was something Marcelo couldn't yet see: destiny. Instead of replacing him, Ronaldo's arrival would elevate him. Instead of pushing him aside, Cristiano would bring out the very best in Marcelo. Together, they would dominate that left side of the pitch in ways no one could have predicted. But in the summer of 2009, Marcelo didn't know that. All he knew was the weight in his chest, the fear of being forgotten, and the haunting memory of a neck grab in Brasilia that now felt like a cruel foreshadowing. When Cristiano Ronaldo finally walked into Real Madrid's locker room in the summer of 2009, Marcelo's nerves were at their peak. He remembered Brasilia. He remembered the shove, the humiliation. He expected tension, maybe even hostility. But what happened instead was the beginning of something no one predicted. Cristiano didn't come in with arrogance. He came in focused, professional, and ready to work. Marcelo later admitted that the first days were surprisingly calm. I thought it would be awkward. But Cristiano didn't treat me badly. He treated me like a teammate. Training sessions slowly changed everything. Marcelo, always eager to attack down the left flank, realized that Cristiano thrived on overlapping runs. Instead of clashing, their styles clicked. Marcelo would charge forward, draw defenders, and whip in a cross. Cristiano, with his timing and power, would meet the ball and finish. Within weeks, they began to build an understanding that felt natural, almost unstoppable. The locker room dynamic helped too. Marcelo, known for his humor, constantly lightened the mood. Cristiano, often seen as serious and intense, found himself laughing at Marcelo's antics. What started as a professional partnership soon grew into genuine friendship. By the end of their first season together, the fear Marcelo once felt had melted away. Ronaldo wasn't his rival anymore. He was his partner in attack, his ally in training, and, soon, his brother off the pitch. From enemies in Brasilia to teammates at the Bernabeu. The transformation was complete. What Marcelo had once dreaded became the greatest blessing of his career.
Pasamos a turno de preguntas para Luka Modric. Preguntas para Luka Modric.
Marcelo with a strike. Oh, it's in. That's a sealer. Marcelo gets the goal.
La décima. Está aquí.
La pega Marcelo. Gol. Gol de Marcelo.
La undécima ha sido para vosotros. Muchas gracias.
6. By 2018, an era had ended. Cristiano Ronaldo left Real Madrid for Juventus, closing one of the most glorious chapters in football history. For Marcelo, it felt like losing a brother. The man who once grabbed him by the neck in a heated friendly had become his closest ally. And now that bond was being tested by distance. Marcelo admitted he struggled with the news. When Ronaldo left, I felt like something inside our team broke. He wasn't just a striker, he was family. The locker room, once full of their laughter and inside jokes, suddenly felt emptier. But the true weight of their friendship was revealed years later. In 2022, when Marcelo himself said goodbye to Real Madrid after 15 years, standing in tears during his farewell ceremony, Marcelo thanked fans, teammates, and the club that made him a legend. Yet one of the most powerful tributes came not from Madrid, but from Cristiano Ronaldo himself. On Instagram, Cristiano posted a photo of the two celebrating a victory and wrote, "For me, Marcelo is more than a teammate. He is a brother that football gave me, on and off the pitch. One of the greatest stars I had the joy to share a locker room with. Keep going strong in this new adventure, Marcelo." It was a message that moved millions. Fans saw the sincerity behind Ronaldo's words. This wasn't PR, it was genuine respect. Born from years of sweat, battles, victories, and laughter shared side by side. The farewell marked the end of a partnership, but not the end of their bond. Even apart, Marcelo and Ronaldo remained brothers. And for Madrid fans, their story wasn't just about football, it was about loyalty, respect, and the kind of friendship that even time and distance can't erase. From that fiery night in Brasilia to the tears of farewell in Madrid, Marcelo and Cristiano Ronaldo's journey came full circle. What started as a clash of pride ended as a story of loyalty, respect, and brotherhood that transcended football. Together, they achieved greatness on the pitch: 4 Champions League titles, 2 La Liga crowns, countless domestic and international trophies. But their true legacy wasn't written in numbers. It was written in trust. Marcelo trusted Cristiano to finish the moves he created. Cristiano trusted Marcelo to support him, to deliver the ball, to stand by his side. Their relationship became a reminder that football isn't just about talent or trophies, it's about connection. Rivalry turned into respect, respect blossomed into trust, and trust became an unbreakable bond. For fans, their chemistry symbolized more than attacking power. It symbolized friendship shining in the spotlight of the world's biggest stages. When Cristiano left for Juventus in 2018, and later when Marcelo said goodbye to Madrid in 2022, Their words to each other carried more weight than any statistic. Ronaldo's tribute calling Marcelo a brother that football gave me revealed the depth of their bond. Marcelo's reflections, admitting he once disliked Ronaldo but later counted him among his closest friends, proved how far they had come. And that is why their story resonates far beyond football. For American fans, it feels familiar. Like the stories of NBA teammates who once clashed but grew into lifelong brothers. Or NFL rivals who discovered mutual respect after years of competition. It speaks to something universal. The people we fight hardest with often become the ones we value most. Marcelo and Cristiano's friendship is now etched into Real Madrid's golden history. Fans will forever remember their unstoppable runs down the left flank. But they'll also remember the laughter, the hugs, and the human bond that made their success possible. In the end, their legacy is more than medals and trophies. It is a lesson that true greatness isn't built alone, but together, that even rivals can become allies, and that brotherhood, once forged, lasts far beyond the final whistle.
Pasamos a turno de preguntas para Luka Modric. ¿Preguntas para Luka Modric?